guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I thought I'd come on here and do a little masking and a little chatting because we haven't done a mask for a while. So today I'm going to be using this Kakadu. I'm not even sure that's how you pronounce it. This is the Dermadoctor Kakadu C. It's the Amethyst Clay Detox Mask. So what it's telling you that it can do for your skin, let's get into that first real quick. It says it has magnesium-rich amethyst clay, absorbs impurities, and detoxifies without removing natural oils. Which is important for me since I have very dry skin. I don't want anything that's going to remove any kind of oils that I already have in my skin because my skin is so dry. I was just looking to make sure my lights were on because it looked really dark in the background. It says it provides gentle resurfacing exfoliation and helps to leave skin feeling smoother, brighter, and softer. Enriched with stabilized vitamin C, Kakadu plum, Tasmanian pepperberry, lily pilly, and Monterey berry. I have no idea what half of these ingredients are, to be honest with you, but we're going to try this out. It says to apply a generous layer to clean, dry skin, leave on for 15 minutes, rinse thoroughly with warm water, and pat dry. Use 3 times a week. So there are, I think, like 3 packs in here. So this is like a week's worth of masking. So let's go ahead and put this on. I need to find a brush quick. So let me find my little drawer here. Okay, so I've got a brush now where I can put this on with, because I don't like to use my fingers with this type of mask because I feel like it just goes on better if you do it with a brush. So I'm going to pull you guys in as close as I can get you guys so that right there you can see what this mask does for my skin, and we're going to do a little bit of chatting. So we'll be really close while I'm applying the mask. So let's open it up and see what this looks like. Okay. I'm smelling it. Do you guys smell your masks too? Oh, it's purple. Oh my gosh, it smells really good. It smells like Kool-Aid. But it's like a purple tone. You can guys see the color of it here? It's like a purple shade. It's really unique. It's like a gray purple. So I'm just going to apply a generous layer of this. Let me grab my mirror so I can see too, so I'm not just looking in the viewfinder at you guys the whole time. There we go. That'll help. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Oh, good grief. I can't even get the brush in here now. Tiffany. Okay. Gosh, it smells good. It smells like Kool-Aid. It smells like tropical punch Kool-Aid. Tropical punch Kool-Aid will always remind me when I was younger. My mom had washed a pair of shorts of my brother's. They were white and she had to like hand wash them for some reason. And then my cousin and I were cutting all the little coupons, not coupons, but the little codes off of the Kool-Aid pack so you can mail them in and you can win something. So we're sitting there cutting all those up. And my brother's shorts are hanging in the kitchen to dry. And my cousin reached up and tried to wipe her hands on what she thought was a towel, but it was my brother's shorts. So then there was Kool-Aid all over his shorts. It was pretty funny at the time. I thought so. I thought it was funny. My brother didn't think it was so funny because he was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to wear now? But anyway, it was pretty funny. My mom, she thought it was funny too. It was pretty funny. So anyway, I'm going to put this mask on here. And I'm going to do a little story time today. We're going to talk about the times that I was super embarrassed when I had gone to the gynecologist. Do you guys ever have embarrassing stories from the gynecologist? If you do, you're going to have to share them below because I have 2 offhand that I can share with you guys that I think are pretty funny. I mean, now they're funny. At the time, they were not funny, of course. They were not funny at all. So, one is gynecologist and one is while I was birthing my son. So, something that was like kind of sad that I didn't have any idea what was going on. So, alright. Wow, look how purple I look. I look like I belong on an episode or like the TV show of Willy Wonka. I had eaten a bunch of the purple, the blueberries? Is it blueberries that the girl eats? I don't even remember. I have only watched that show like a million times and I don't even remember. Or movie. I used to watch that a lot, and like when I would go to school in the mornings, I would watch The Wizard of Oz. We had like a DVD player, so I would watch a little bit each morning. So like I would never get to watch the whole movie in the morning, but I would watch a little bit each time while I was eating my cereal. Weird, I know. Alright, I think we've almost used this whole packet here. Got it going on pretty good here now. It wants to peel back up. Do you see that? Like when I'm pressing it down certain places, it wants to come back up a little bit. Stay where you're put. So I'm going to go under a little bit here. Get my chin. Okay, so I think we're good now. So this is empty now. So I'm just going to set my brush on top of this so that can dry. Or I don't really want it to dry. I want to wash it as soon as I'm done. Okay, let me go ahead and set the timer on, and then we're going to talk about my embarrassing story at the gynecologist that was, to me, was funny. To you guys might be like, how did you not know this? So anyway, so 15 minutes, start the timer. And so let's go ahead and zoom you guys back out a little bit because I feel like you guys might be a little close. Let me get you close enough so you can see my face right now though. It's nice and shiny. So let's see what this mask does for me. So anyway, so the first time I had ever gone to a gynecologist, I was 19. I had just found out that I was pregnant with my first son. So I had my son when I was pretty young. But anyway, I had gone to the gynecologist. We made this appointment. We had to go, it was like a bunch of hoops you had to jump through to get into the gynecologist, which I had no idea that when you get pregnant, you have to jump through hoops to get to see the doctor. But anyway, we finally get in to see him, and the nurse leads me in. She says, okay, you need to put this gown on. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like really nervous because like I said, it was my first time ever visiting one. I was scared. I was like, didn't know what to expect. So I go in and I put this robe on. And then the doctor comes in, and then the doctor and the nurse, she comes in behind him, and my boyfriend at the time was a boyfriend, who is now my husband. He's standing there behind me to make sure everything's okay as well. So we're standing there, and the doctor comes in, and he gets in his position, and he tells you to do your thing. And then all of a sudden, he pulls the blanket back down over top, and he whispers something to the nurse, and he walks out of the room, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. Something's really wrong with me. I just thought all kinds of horrible things were running through my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, what is wrong? What is wrong? What did I do? Is something wrong with the baby? You know, what is wrong? Well, then the nurse comes over, and she takes her hand, and she like helps me lean up, and she's like, sweetie, she goes, you need to remove your panties. Yeah. That's how smart I felt after that. I was like, oh yeah, that would probably be helpful, right? So anyway, so that was my very embarrassing first time at the gynecologist because I had no idea. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, what is he going to do? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I've told this story to millions, well, not millions. That's not true. I've told this story to lots of people because I think it's funny, especially if you have a daughter and your daughter, you don't tell her that one thing that, hey, when you go to a gynecologist, you have to remove your panties. Your panties cannot be on when he's doing his exam. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I thought he was going to do. Who knows? But it was a very embarrassing time for me. So of course I did my thing, and he come back in and everything was fine. The baby was fine. But yeah, it was very embarrassing. It was a very embarrassing time for me, being young, being my first time at the gynecologist office, because I thought, oh my gosh, you know, something's really wrong with me. And then after he did that, after he said this to the nurse, and she tells me, I felt like really like ignorant. I was like, how did you not know that that's a step? So of course I was embarrassed when he came back in, thinking, oh my gosh, he thinks I'm really not smart at all now. So anyway, that was my first embarrassing time. So we're going to move on to when I was in labor with my son. When I was in labor with my son, same pregnancy. So it's my first pregnancy. The labor starts out really weird because I was 10 days past due. So I go in to have a checkup, and they're going to put in this cream to help me to start dilating and to start progression on the labor. So they go in, and he's like, oh, he goes, we don't have to do anything. He goes, you're in labor. And I'm like, what? So I'm freaking out because of that, because I had no idea. Like I said, this is my first child, so I have no idea what to expect. I didn't know that that was labor pains that was going on. I had no idea. So anyway, they get me all prepped up, set up in the room, and then I'm calling my boyfriend, fiance, husband now, calling him. He's at school taking a test, telling him he needs to get there immediately because the baby's coming, and they're like, no, it's going to be a while, so he has time. Let him finish his test. So then in the meantime, two of my aunts, my grandmother, my mom, everybody is there with me. My cousins are all there with me because they're there to support me, because that's what family does. You support each other. So they're there giving me emotional support as well as physical support because I had a lot of back labor. Well, the nurse comes in and she starts doing all the IVs, and she's giving me everything that I need to have the baby. Well, the next thing you know, she says, okay, she goes, the next thing we need to do, we need to prep your enema. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then about that time, my aunts all stand up. My mom, my aunts, everybody like stands up, and I'm like, what's going on? So they're like, see you later. And I'm like, why is everybody leaving? Where are y'all going? It's an enema. What's the big deal here? So they all leave, and I have no clue what's going on. So then the nurse comes back in, and she's got this bag with her, and then she says, okay, we're going to do your enema now. So I'm holding out my arm, and she's like, oh no, honey, not there. And I'm like, what do you mean? So then I like pull down the sheet and then let my thigh hang out, because I thought maybe that's where you put it. You put it in your thigh. No, honey, not there either. And I'm like, what? So then I finally figured out where the enema goes, and then I was like, so not only just embarrassed because I had no idea what an enema was, But then I was like, why did y'all leave me? You should at least told me what was going on. Like, I had no clue what an enema was. I was so young and so not prepared for anything that was happening. I was like so inexperienced with it all. So of course I got the enema, and then that was helped the labor progress. And that, well, it doesn't really help the labor progress. It just gets you ready for labor, gets you ready for pushing. So, which I don't even think they do enemas anymore, do they? Because I know with my second son, they didn't even do that. But although I had a planned C-section, this little hair tie thing's like going crazy. It's flopping back. But anyway, so that labor with my first son though was a fiasco to begin with, because the nurse, she's coming in and she's checking on my labor progression, and I have the IVs all in, and she goes to walk back out after she checks the monitor and everything, and she trips over my IV cord and almost yanks it out of my arm. Then they come in and they're like, okay, you know, we're going to give you the epidural, because I wanted that. So they give me the epidural, and then like not even a minute after they gave me the epidural, my son's heart rate plummeted down to like the 30s. It was like very scary. Everybody's freaking out. They've got like the whole room is like completely full of doctors and nurses and stuff like that. So they're in there. I have nail polish on, and they're like taking the nail polish off. They're like, oh gosh, you gotta take this off. I had no idea why that you had to do that, but now I know it's because they're checking like your oxygen levels through your nails. I don't really know how that's possible, but that's how they do it. Like the pink of your nail gives you oxygen indication. So anyway, they're doing all that, and then of course I go back and have an emergency C-section with my son. Thankfully, he was completely fine after they took him out pretty quickly. They took him out, like, it was like a 5-minute time frame. He was out. So he was a big healthy baby. He was 10 pounds 2 ounces. So even though the pregnancy started out really embarrassing, the labor started out really embarrassing and scary, we ended up with healthy results. We ended up with a healthy baby. So that's the most important thing. I think people forget like all these things that are embarrassing. Yes, they might be embarrassing. And yes, they're hard to think about sometimes, because you're like, how was I not smart enough to realize that? But there's a reason. So I mean, it's not a real reason, but it ends up with good results is what I mean. So you get a baby. That's the good thing. So if you'd like to hear any more stories about things like that, let me know. I just thought I'd do this little mask today with you guys and like chat about it a little bit, chat about some things that I thought were kind of funny. So now I'm going to go off here. We've got about another 7 minutes. I don't want to chat your ears off today, but you guys let me know what you think of the story times, because I've got a list of things that I feel like can be appropriate to tell you guys. So if you guys want to hear more story times, let me know, because we can do masking and story times, or we can do get ready with me and story times. So what I'm going to do now is just pause you guys and wait for the rest of the time to run out, and I'll come back on here right before I remove the mask and show you guys how the mask looks, so that there you can see the end results before I remove it. So let me know what you think of my fun little trips to the doctor's office. So anyway, hang on, I'll be right back. Okay guys, it's been the whole time frame, so we've had it on for 15 minutes, so I'm going to go remove this now. It has gotten a little bit hard, like especially in this area right here. I'm going to zoom you guys in here in a second, but it's gotten really hard, especially here. And then my cheek down in here feels pretty hard too, and I don't know if it feels tight, not hard. It feels a little tight in those areas. So I'm gonna zoom you in so you can see what the mask looks like once it's been dried onto my skin. So here is my forehead. My beautiful hot dog wrinkles are showing through. And then right here you can see where it's really tight, because it's just like a lot of product there, so, but it feels really tight right here. But it also feels tight underneath my chin where I put it that way, so it feels tight there as well. But I'm going to remove this off and see if my skin looks a little bit better. If not, then that's okay. We just tried it out. That's good, all fun names. But it is supposed to detoxify your skin, so we'll see if it detoxifies or not. So hang tight guys, I'm going to go remove this with some water, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, I just removed the mask. It was a little bit hard to get off. I had to kind of use my fingers at first, and it wasn't really moving with that, so I had to get a cloth out and help remove the rest of the product off. Once I got it off though, my skin feels, there's a lot of fuzz floating around, I'm not sure what it's coming from, but my skin feels very, very soft. So my skin feels super soft and like it feels clean. Now as far as detoxifying my skin, I don't really see a difference as far as like, I still have a little bit of whiteheads on my nose here. My cheeks they look pretty clean actually. They look pretty clean. They don't look bad at all. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see what my skin looks like now, so you can kind of tell if you think it looks any different or not. So let's zoom you in. Let's get super close. So here we go. Here's what my skin looks like now. My forehead, my cheeks, and my chin. So I think it looks good. It looks good. It doesn't look like it's dry or anything. It doesn't feel dry, so that's important as well. It doesn't feel like it dried my skin out, which I don't like a product that's going to dry my skin out, because like I said, I already have dry skin, so anything that's going to dry it out even further is a no-go for me. This didn't dry it out. It just feels very clean. It feels like I did an excellent job of like maybe like scrubbing and cleansing it really well. So it just feels very, very clean. I like it. I'm not hating on it whatsoever. I'm going to try the other 3 out, or the other 2 out, and then you guys will probably see this in an empties and you'll get an updated review on it, whether or not it actually worked after using it 3 more times, or 2 more times. I keep saying 3. After using it 2 more times, to see if it actually did anything different to my skin or anything like that. But it will be like in an updated or an empties coming up. So just look for it there. But right now it feels good. It feels really good. I mean, my skin feels like it needs a little bit of hydration, because, you know, anytime you clean your skin, you should put some moisturization back into your skin anyway. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go about my day. I think it did good. I'm pretty pleased with it. I'll have to check to see how much this costs. Let's see if we can look this up very quickly. Let's see. If you go into the Ulta website, which is where Dermadoctor is usually sold. Dermadoctor. All right. We've got the masks. Wait a minute. No, this is the intensive peels. I have those as well. I have the intensive peels. I want the mask. Where's the mask? Detoxifying amethyst mask. So it comes in like a jar, so you can buy it in a jar. It is a 1.7 ounce jar of the mask for $58, but it's got a perfect 5-star rating for 34 people that have reviewed it. So it looks pretty good, honestly. I don't see where it looks bad at all. $58 is pricey for a mask. That's a little much. But, I mean, if you're looking for something to cleanse your skin and make your skin feel very clean, I think it does a good job. It does have the vitamin C in it, which I love anything that has a vitamin C in it, because vitamin C helps to brighten, lighten, and tighten your skin. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I don't know that I will be buying the $58 mask anytime soon, because I've got a whole drawer full of masks. So I won't be purchasing it anytime soon, but if it's something you're interested in, then I'd say check it out and try it, because I do have, like right now, I think that I just saw it has a sample of it with a purchase. Yes, it says you get the, no, that's a peel. But I'm sure you can get a sample of it somehow if you wanted to try it out to see if it works for you. So that's my overall thoughts on it for now. Like I said, you'll see the other 2 once I try those out. I'll show you guys those in like in empties or something. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little chatty masking time. Let me know if you have any embarrassing stories like mine. I'd love to hear them. You don't have to share if you don't want to though, but I think mine were pretty funny, and I learned from them, obviously. So anyway, I thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, yeah.